Audio. 1 second. I got it right here. How about now?
Check, check, check.
Check. 1, 2.
Here, I'll turn this on too.
No audio.
Hold on. I got this. I just turned this on.
Are we both audio?
Check, check, check.
3, 4, 5. Hello. Flight Test has 2 million subscribers on YouTube. We can't do a live. That's awesome.
We're good. Okay.
We're good now.
All right. Well, first of all, let's give them context of what we're trying to do for tomorrow.
Pull our foot out of our behind.
Yes. Yeah. Hey. Good evening, friends.
Good evening.
Welcome to a live broadcast of the production suite that we've been kind of dressing up.
Yes. We've been working on this feverishly. And the idea is we're going to have way more content that's going to be a whole lot more professional than what we're doing right now.
Yeah, what we were working for was tomorrow we're going to be doing a live broadcast talking about the importance of the new advisory circular that came out, and you need to respond by basically Monday.
Monday. So if you don't get a chance to tune in tomorrow or you forget.
I mean, I guess we can do this now, tonight.
Would you want to do we could do it now.
Yeah,
let's do it now.
Let's do it now. Okay.
That way those tomorrow, they're a day behind anyway. So the advisory circular, that is, what is it, 91-57 Charlie. Not Bravo, but Charlie. Yeah, so that is, the comment period is over on Monday. And I was talking with Greg at Pilot Institute about it.
What a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, yeah. If you have any questions about this advisory circular, I would definitely look up Pilot Institute and what Greg did on this. All what we want to do is just take a quick moment and tell you how to fill out the form in which they have, because Greg said that this is not the normal way in which they do this.
It used to be you could submit a Word document or a PDF and respond it this way. This is kind of like a grid, and I've never seen anything like it. Maybe it's so they can filter through it more effectively, but it's unique, and my guess is, if just like anything in the government, if it's not perfectly submitted, it's just immediately discarded, and then your voice will not be heard.
Yeah, I mean, and it looks, when you first look at the grid, it looks like it can be confusing, but if you just take a deep breath and just break it down box by box, it's not terrible. What you can do right away is that the two most right-hand boxes that say OPR, accept, reject, and then OPR, disposition, you can just disregard them. You don't have to worry about that. That's the FAA. They're doing, they're taking care of that. Now, if you were to start from the left and work towards the right, obviously the first box, if it says company and group, if you're not part of a company or a group, you could just put NA in that box, not applicable, and that's it. But if you are, like if we were going to comment on this, we
will be, yeah.
Yes, we'll put flight test or Ftca, depending upon how we.
Most likely both.
Both, yes. And so that would be in the first that first box. The second box, the page and paragraph, that is, I think, self-explanatory in the sense that wherever the discrepancy that you see or wherever you want to comment on, you need to put that page number and the paragraph in which it's in. And that's pretty straightforward. Now, the next three boxes that's where it can get kind of tricky. It says reviewer's comment, reviewer's rationale for comment, and then reviewer's recommendation. So when you fill this out in that first box of the reviewer's comment, that is going to be what you are saying. This, after you put the page and the paragraph, this is not good. This is wrong. This shouldn't be this way. Don't just say it's stupid.
Yeah.
If you put in there, it's stupid. Well, okay, it might be, but
yeah, you have to give them something tangible that they have to respond to or dismiss. If you say it's stupid, they're going to dismiss it. If you give them a tangible argument based on facts, say like in some aspects, maybe, hey, this thing that you're proposing doesn't even exist in 107, yet you want to have it existing for recreational pilots. That's inconsistent. They're going to then have to respond to that statement. So it's really important that you give them something they have to respond to be able to to be effective.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to be a scholar in writing these things. Just make it short, but make it very clear.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the reviewer's comment. That's what you're going to say. Hey, this is wrong. Then you're going to give your rationale for that comment. And that was like what Josh was saying there. Like, you have to be clear on this, and it's got to be. There's got to be a reason for why you're making this comment. It's not just it's stupid. We don't like it.
Yeah.
And well, that was something that Greg told me. Like, if you want to comment on the whole circular, you just, instead of putting the page, like all of the pages, you just put all in that. If you just put all, then you can just say, hey, this is kind of too much, or whatever you want. But that's a side note. So reviewers comment, then reviewers rationale for comment, and then that third box there, which is actually the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth box over, reviewers recommendation. Don't only present a problem, give a resolution for it. What would you recommend for whatever you see as a problem? And
a good case in point, and I'm going to go off my memory from reading through this and stuff. There's a lot of very odd regulations around FPV flying, which doesn't make any sense, because if there was an aircraft at risk at some of the positions or areas that the multi-rotor or airplane would be flying, that airplane would probably be crashing. So there's no at-risk moments and stuff, and it has to do with where the ability to take off your goggles or to see the airplane at all times while you're under the goggles. Those things just aren't very practical.
Right.
And trying to educate through your comment to make them understand, it would be the best thing. So some of them are a little odd and maybe just not really well thought out.
Yeah, agreed. So in that, those boxes there, you'll find this this comment section at the end of the circular. So it's not, it's a hyperlink, so it's not hard to find.
Yep.
Make sure when you click on it, you download it, and then you fill it out appropriately.
Are we able to, with YouTube Lives, to be able to just put the link directly to this area for people?
That would be Noah.
Hey, Noah.
Noah, can we do that?
Can we put links in Lives?
Huh?
Can we put links in Lives at the end of it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
links and lives at the end.
We're going to get a couple really important links. One is to Greg's breakdown of this, which is just incredibly helpful. Again, we're really thankful for our FTCA partners, the knowledge they bring and how well they freely share it and stuff.
For sure.
We don't want to rewrite the book and present everything new. We want to be able to showcase people that put a lot of hard work in there and guide you directly to them. We want you to have a relationship with them as well. Greg, we love you. Thank you for that.
Yes.
And then
he's got a cool accent too.
He does. He's a really cool. If you guys have ever watched any Pilot Institute training, man, that's Greg, and he's awesome.
Yeah.
Boy, we just kind of jumped into this.
Yes.
A prep session turned into a real session.
Yeah, well, that was because Noah said all of a sudden, "Hey, we're live."
We're live.
But hey, so one of the things. This was one of the things.
Yes.
This circular comment period was one of the things that. A few other things that we have that we wanted to talk about is, one, we're going to be doing a podcast, which is going to be very much very much like this, where we're just sitting down and we're talking. Hopefully camera angles are a little bit better and all this stuff, and makes us look...
Still a work in progress.
Yeah, it makes us look like 20 years younger and everything. A little more polished. Thank you for the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to tell you all about that. But one big, huge thing that we need to talk about real quick.
Flight Fest.
Flight Fest.
Holy cow, friends.
Quick question from
Yes.
from the live.
Oh, yeah.
They were asking, do we need to download this form, fill it out, and then email it in?
Yes.
Great question.
Great question. So if you look at the top of the form when you download it, it'll have there's an email address to an alvin.a.bruner@ffa.gov. That's going to be where you're going to send that into, as far as I can tell.
Very good.
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you okay back there?
Yep. We're playing with stickers.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, on a side note,
Tell them.
yeah, my son and his daughter
And my daughter.
are engaged.
Woo!
Crazy.
Right. We're gonna be family.
That's what happens when we work crazy hours together.
Oh my
Our kids
goodness.
get married.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and it won't be too long.
Yes. So Flight Fest was a huge success.
Yeah, Flight Fest. Let's get back to so yeah.
This is why you should not do live broadcasts at almost 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
On a Friday.
On a Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a great week though.
Yeah.
Flight Fest was a huge success.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of rain, but it didn't slow us down.
And a huge shout out to all the volunteers.
Goodness gracious!
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Eddie Black stepped up in a big way.
Eddie did. He knocked it out of the ballpark,
Yep.
and all of the red
everyone.
shirts, all of the orange shirts. I mean, they made me look good because they were doing such a good job. We had a meeting today with some executives, and they said, "Hey, good job on Flight Fest," and that's all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all the volunteers and everything.
Yeah, a lot of people were impacted in just an amazing way. We saw more kids that were the age between 9 and 11 with pilot badges on the flight lines, just whole entire families, boys, girls, daughters, moms, fathers. They were all there, and it was absolutely incredible. Next year, I think we're definitely going to go for 4 build tents, not just 3, because I see like the more build tents there are, the more good things happen, the more memories are made. So definitely
and some other new changes that we'll be making here.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff coming.
Friends, if you took time to come to Flight Fest, I know that was a huge undertaking with your time, energy, resources. Thank you for making it what it was, and we're really excited for next year.
Yeah. So I don't know what else you want to say at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh my gosh! Well, first of all, sorry about the clunkiness, but we're excited. Oh, we are going to be bringing something back.
What are we bringing back?
Live builds.
Yes.
So we are going to do our best to bring live builds back in a regular fashion here. So leave in the comments below. I want to kind of work back into this. My smoothness of building has been kind of staggering because John Overstreet has been doing a lot of build videos. Pick a plane that you guys would love to build, something that would take probably under 2 hours, and just let us know in the comments. If we see enough of that, we'll go ahead and do a live build. But I would love to have the opportunity to do a live build, maybe even once a month. And on top of that, eventually make this to where we can live stream into different hobby shops, different schools, different outreach ministries, where we're all building together, commenting. It's so funny because we do this platform and we oftentimes are like technologically clunky, but you guys give us a lot of grace in that. And these last live builds that we did during the COVID season were absolutely incredible for seeing families building together and just the stories we heard. So we got the internet.
Yeah,
we're gonna be able to bring that back, and that's
meaning internet here in the HQ.
That's important. Yeah, not my basement anymore. So we'll be able to do that again. Let us know what kind of builds you're thinking of. Right. And as far as FTCA stuff, we have FPV Fest going on right now. So if you guys are within 2, 3, 4 hours of Edgewater, come out tomorrow. FPV Fest is going on. It is absolutely incredible. There's a beautiful runway up there with lights, and there's all these FPV planes and quads flying around. It's
all over the
incredible.
golf course. It's crazy.
Yep. And then next weekend is another event.
Yes, next weekend is the Flying Circus. So the Flying Circus, we're showcasing like big planes, but you don't have to have a big monster plane to come out. It's just going to be a fun time. We're just, I mean, it's really just an excuse to come out and
It'll
have
be like
some
popcorn and peanuts. So.
Popcorn and peanuts, right? I'm sure there'll be a combat or two.
Yes.
But yes, that's next weekend. That'd be Friday at 3 o'clock through Sunday at 3 o'clock. And then in September we've got Wings at Work.
Wings at Work.
I almost said Wings over Edgewater. That was already
that was a couple months ago. Wings at Work is going to be where we're going to be issuing some fun challenges. You can bet bomb drops are going to be part of it. Ooh, we're going to have some really fun challenges we're going to issue to our community. Again, it's a fun fly. People can have fun flying, but we are going to have a chance for people to compete, some fun prizes, and just take on some wacky challenges that we issue the community, and of course we're going to be partaking. Definitely combat will be part of it. Definitely bomb drops will be part of it. But we'll be having a little bit of fun. We love theming model aviation around activities. It's kind of what the FTC is all about. You know?
Well, and here's something that I think that is important for us that we just need to say. Like, all of this in which that is done here and why we do what we do is all because of the community. There's some business that goes on and everything, but that's just so we can continue to do what it is that we do. So when we're thinking about just different events or whatever. We really want to serve the community. There's no holding punches. There is something deeper that we really want to communicate. That we want these relationships to be built, and we want to be able to see families come together.
We love you guys.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that that's something that maybe we don't say enough.
Yeah.
We want to express more, and that's one of the reasons I think that the podcast is going to be a big thing, in the sense of you're going to be able to see some of the workings behind the scene, see into Bixler's heart even more than he already shows, see some of the struggles in which we have too.
Oh, amen.
I mean, that's we're just normal people like everybody else, and
we can't unpack everything in a simple, 12 to 18 minute video once a week. We can't unpack the why every single time. We want to use this podcast as a way to obviously share with people what's going on in the industry, yes. What's going on in aviation, yes. What's going on with even regulations and things that you need to know about, yes. But also, more importantly, why God wired us the way we are, why we want to see flight tests impact people in a positive way, how we want to equip you guys to use flight tests and model aviation as a way to impact other people. Yeah. Before flight tests existed, that was on our hearts. Lee and I both. And that's what brought that theme and that mission into flight tests. So we really want people to understand where we're coming from unapologetically. Yeah. And to hopefully equip and inspire you guys along the way. So yes, there will be model aviation. Yes, we love airplanes, but you're going to see how much more we love people. Yeah, and how even more goofier and jacked up and everything we are. Do we have comments, or is it?
Everybody's probably asleep, aren't they?
Yeah, because it's like 11 o'clock at night.
Let's see.
Anybody?
A lot of people want the ME262 and the Zero for live builds. So,
the ME262.
Oh my! So instead of being 10 o'clock, it'll be 12 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, the Zero. I can see the Zero.
Yeah,
the ME262. Really?
Wow. There's like 3 or 4 people that really want the.
Okay, here's the thing. If we could do like, you guys want me to die? Seriously?
Well, maybe that's a live that we do with.
Maybe we do a 3-part live.
Yeah.
Wing. Maybe we do that with John and you two tackle it. Like,
John, that would be.
Guys, I stopped drinking Mountain Dew a while ago. That made me.
Yeah, but you
ME260. I was thinking Arrow, simple stick.
Right.
Quick. ME262. Seriously, who said that?
Like a few people. So they say, "Come on, man."
You said. So hey.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna have a lot of time to make a memory. If you want to do an ME262.
Oh man.
Yeah, maybe we can do a mini 262.
I like that.
I think we need to start small and then work our way up.
That's like, did it glitch to the point I said I was out of practice with doing live builds and stuff like that, and it was funky, and give me something easy. And
I think the audio cut out during that.
That must have been what happened. All right, what else besides the ME262?
Zero. Yeah. The Zero.
Okay.
F-22.
Awesome.
Okay.
F-22 is easy,
yeah.
The Zero is awesome, by the way. That's fantastic.
Also, people are asking about where was it? Remote ID monitors for FAA.
Oh, the remote ID, yeah. So that is not, it's not a requirement yet.
Nope. No,
not until...
We're talking about 2.5 years, and to be frank with you, this is my opinion, this is not fact, but if you guys haven't noticed, there's a huge chip crisis going on with the expense and everything. What they're requiring with remote ID, the technology, is not going to be that expensive, and it's not going to be that complicated. As bad as it could have been, this is probably one of the better circumstances of what they fell on. But we're talking 2.5 years before all this stuff has to be implemented. And that was a little while ago, so maybe it's a little less than that. But we still have time. All that stuff is now open source where people are developing around it. We're working with people to make sure that there is a cheap, economical solution. Yeah. So there's going to be lots of competition, lots of people coming out with solutions that are easy and economical. This could very well easily be built into a receiver by the time it goes. So I'm not losing too much sleep over remote ID, but what I am losing a lot of sleep over is us being able to establish as many FRIAs as possible. Federally recognized identification areas. Did I get it right? FAA recognized identification. Okay, thank you. I knew I butchered something.
Yeah, it's crazy. They have an acronym inside of an acronym. It doesn't make any sense. Well, but that's the government for you.
That's the government
for you.
It's
kind of like trust.
Yeah. Don't get me started. So long story short, our goal more so is to establish as many FRIAs, schools, churches, parks, because if we have those established FRIAs, you'll be able to freely fly without having to have that technology on your airplane,
Right.
which means it's still accessible, it's still affordable. And a FRIA could be in a person's backyard,
Right.
and a FRIA could be in a park, a FRIA could be at a school. It's open, but there's going to eventually be a process to establish FRIAs. As the FTCA and also with Flight Test, we want to see you guys be able to enjoy the hobby as freely as you are right now. And establishing those FRIAs will be a really important part.
Yeah, and one of the big things with the establishing of the FRIAs is the fact that a FRIA has to, at least that the wording in which you have now, a FRIA has to follow the safety guidelines of a CBO, which that's what the FTCA is. So that's not the only reason we exist, but that is one of the reasons.
And this advisory circular we're talking about, I can't believe we didn't even unpack it. This specific 57 Charlie it was very much around the establishment of CBOs.
Right, they have a lot of recommendations in there for the safety guidelines of the CBOs. Now, there's like 8 pages of it where most I don't know, maybe y'all want to read it, but it's most people don't want to read all of the stuff in it. Our safety guidelines already aren't very strenuous. We'll have to tweak them just a little bit to fulfill some of these recommendations so that we can make sure that we're in line with the FAA and everything. But it's not going to be strenuous.
Yeah, because of the nature of the type of flying we do, because of the materials, the weights, the speed.
Yeah.
Our goal is to keep things as simple and easy as possible. And I don't want to see this getting complicated.
No.
If it gets complicated, it's going to breed 2 things: people not complying, number one, but also people not wanting to be in the hobby because they don't know if they're enjoying it or doing it properly or legally.
Right.
We got to attack both of those, and that's where I really would love to caution the FAA is don't make it complicated. This is recreational flight.
Yeah.
This is something that is the gateway into career paths and to inspire people with schools and things. You make it too complicated, you're shooting yourselves in the foot, and you're shooting all the great things that flight can do, and you're flushing it down the toilet. So we really want to protect that. We want to make sure that our guidelines are easy to follow. They're not overarching, and you guys going through and leaving your comments would be incredibly helpful.
Yep. What else do you got? Anything?
FT Flyer.
FT Flyer.
I want the Bix to die.
I love you guys.
Yes.
Normals.
FT Flyer, thank you, Dan.
Yes.
You're my best friend.
Maybe like 150% or something.
Ooh, that could be good. I like
Yeah.
that. FTV2. FT Flyer V2.
V2. All right, so if there's no other comments, nothing, we're good. All right, we're gonna call it because it's after 10 o'clock.
What a great
right now.
accidental live.
Yeah, it is. So more of these. More. You look for the podcast coming out here in the next few weeks. We're gonna. That too will probably be clunky to start with, but we're gonna.
We're just coming off a lot of crazy. Flight Fest. Then from Flight Fest, we went to Oshkosh. Did a lot of advocacy. A lot of really great things came from that. That should be impacted in the podcast. Obviously, this advisory. We're finally kind of just digging out of all that. I cannot wait to have more time with you guys, with Lee, and just bringing the podcast and bringing the hard stuff back.
And we're going on vacation here in a couple weeks.
I know. And our kids got engaged.
Yeah. So there's been a lot happening, but yeah. So.
All right.
Anything else?
No, let's say bye.
All right. Until then, we'll see you. I don't know.